Hi. So this is a very short introduction to Episerver and the Lionbridge Episerver connector. We're starting with Episerver. This is their default demo site, Alloy. And on the left-hand side here, you have a number of pages where you do the main part of the navigation within Episerver. So here you have a number of pages, and every page here corresponds to a published URL that you can browse to on the internet. You also have a different content type called blocks, so you can use blocks to build a page or reuse content across pages. The main difference is that blocks are not published independently, they are only used as blocks. So on this page here you have a number of content areas with text. So this is a text field. Down here I have a content area containing one block and a couple of other pages that are linked in. So you can build the page from both properties and blocks and other pages. There are two main ways of displaying content in Episerver, either this rendered page, or you can also display the different properties on this page. So SEO, for instance, this is non-visible text that is still translatable and very important for search optimization, of course. You have the actual content to be translated, or the rendered page content. Settings are typically not translatable, of course, but you can have a large number of different tabs here depending on how you define your pages and the content that you want to have on them. But that's in short how you manage content. You have your pages, you have your blocks, and you have properties on these pages and blocks, and then you create a page and publish it to the web. Over on the left-hand side, or sorry, right-hand side here, we have the Lionbridge connector. So in order to send out a page or several pages for translation, I simply click the plus sign here to create a new translation project. I select it, give it a name, using this button, edit pages, I get access to the full page tree. So here I can add, for instance, Alloy. Let's take Alloy track and all its sub pages. And since I have include blocks selected, I'm also automatically including any blocks on that particular page. So I make my content selection here, pages and blocks. I save it. I make sure that I have the correct source language, and I select one or multiple target languages, a due date, and when I'm done, I click translate, and the connector will send it out in the background. The dashboard here keeps track of my different project statuses. So let's see here. This icon means that it's a draft project, hasn't been sent out. 5% means that the project has been received by Lionbridge, but no work has been started. When production starts, it goes up to 10%. As deliveries start coming in, the percentages move up. So in this case, we have half of the 2 languages have been delivered, and here all translations, all languages have been delivered. And as a translation project receives deliveries, the import translations button is lit here. So in this case, if I click import translations, I'll just do that. All the translations have been flowing back into the language layer of those pages that are submitted for translation. So no copying and pasting, no file management, no version management on the customer side. They simply use the connector to submit pages and blocks for translation and receive the translations back. So So a couple of settings, not a whole lot. Source and target XML is the account information. There's a language mapping XML field to map the language used to the language identifier used in the Episerver environment to the language identifier we use on the Lionbridge side. So straight mapping. If you have the same code in Episerver and in Freeway, you don't actually need to do this mapping. It's only when you need to map different language codes to each other. Grouped asset handling should always be checked. And there's also 2 scheduled services managing the communication. So it is configurable how often to run these services. Every hour is typically okay in a production environment. And this is also good from a troubleshooting perspective. If you should ever have any issues, you can ask the customer to go in here and ensure that these services are active and that they are successfully run on schedule. The connector also outputs a log file. And on the Lionbridge side, anything submitted will appear as a bundle in Freeway. And just ready to be translated. All right, that's about it. Thank you.